Hi and welcome to What's Cooking. Today I've got some amazing prawns lined up for you today, and joining me in the studio is Mr. Hashim Jogi, this board chairman of Deen TV. What a privilege we have today to have him on set. Hi Mr. Jogi, how are you?
Fine, Ismail, how are you?
Good, good, good. A lover of prawns?
Love it.
Definitely. What do you love about them?
Well, first of all, prawns has got to be the right texture. It's got to be cooked in the correct way that you normally do, and I've tasted your prawns before, so yeah, I just love prawns. But obviously it's got to come with some accompaniments as well.
Most definitely, right? So today we're going to be making, I'm going to show you a creamy style peri-peri prawns, right? What I've done was I've taken the Mozambican prawns, the Mozambican style of cooking, and I've pumped it up a little bit of Indian in it. Right, so we're going to show you a different method. I've got some prawns here with the head off, and obviously some with the head, some with the head off and some with the head on. Let me just run you through our ingredients quickly, right? We have a bit of chives, we have a bit of coriander, a bit of garlic, a bit of cream. We've got some Cajun spice, which is a bit more Mediterranean, right? We're going to add in that flavor. We've got a bit beautiful chilies, red chilies, which you're going to make a peri-peri sauce with. We've got some almonds, some onions, some bay leaves, some butter, right? You can never cook prawns without butter. Remember that one. Right, so going for it. Let's go. You're gonna make up a peri-peri sauce for me, right? So you're just gonna pop that out. We're just gonna toss our chilies in there.
That's a fair amount of chilies.
Oh, definitely. This is Durban. Right, a bit of onion. We want that pungent flavor running through the dish, right? A hint of coriander, right? A bit of olive oil. Okay. Right, this is basically for all you ladies at home, simple, easy way of making peri-peri sauce at home. Right, whatever you get in the restaurants, it's similar. That's fine. Right, so just a quick mix there. Right, and we're done. You're gonna pop that on. You're just gonna blend that up. In the meantime, I'm just gonna get a pan ready for our prawns. Brilliant. Yeah. Right. Stop it. Right, now remember something always, when you are blending something, you need to have enough liquid in it, right? Okay. So I'm just going to add a bit of more olive oil in there for you, just to create that liquid. Right, let me pop that in for you.
Got it.
Cool. Right, give it another blend. Alright, in this pan, while that is busy cooking up, I'm going to grab a pan quickly. I'm just going to put a bit of olive oil.
What does the texture have to be like?
A little bit of a thin texture, but we want it a bit more rough cut. Can I have a look at it? Oh, brilliant. Just a little bit more, put it on a pulse beat. Just a few times, yeah? Not just to get that smooth texture coming through, but we don't want it too smooth. We want it a bit coarse. Right, to all our viewers at home, depending on the consistency you would like it, depending on the consistency you like it, you can blend it as much as you want. Right? Oh, that's brilliant. Can you smell that? Oh, that is lovely, nice and hot. Okay. Let me just pop that out. Yeah, and we can empty it into the bowl. Oh, that looks beautiful, eh? Absolutely stunning. Leave this there. Alright, now as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an amazing peri-peri sauce, right? Simple, easy to make. All I'm going to do is just add a bit of black pepper to it.
What does the pepper actually do?
Pepper adds a little bit more pungency to the dish itself, especially black pepper. White pepper will give you a bit more of a smooth texture. Here you're looking for that little bit of a pungent. It is a peri-peri, and a little bit of salt. If you can mix that up nicely.
Does it matter whether I steer it clockwise or anti-clockwise?
You just go for it, man. Lovely. Oh, that looks beautiful. What we're going to do now is, right, we got a pan on. I've got some oil in the pan. I'm just going to throw in 2 knobs of butter in there. We add a little bit of oil so we don't burn the butter, right? But we still want the butter flavor coming through. Right, so we're just going to heat this up. Right, we're going to put it on a low heat, allow it to melt. So tell us something about yourself. I'm doing all the talking, you need to talk.
Well, basically I'm based in Durban. This is the Durban Studios, and
lovely.
We're based in Durban, and we cover quite a few shows. Yeah, amongst them is your show. And obviously, we've got many other shows that we do from the Durban studios, and I manage that whole setup in Durban.
That must be a lot of work to do,
It's
eh?
a fair amount of work on you.
As long as you take it with a smile, everybody's happy.
Tell me, you mentioned earlier on that you've got to cook prawns with butter. Tell us why.
Flavor. You want to add that pure butter flavor, not a margarine. You want that reduced butter. You want that fat into your prawns itself.
Okay.
Right, so that is why the butter just gives it an extra kick of flavor.
Okay.
Right, now what I'm going to do here, if you could just grab a prawn with me, we're just going to take a bit of our Cajun spice, right? Just a drizzle in your hand, and we're just going to sprinkle it, right? You don't want to overpower the prawn flavor itself, right? Thereafter, just take your finger and rub it down. Right, just so that
into the meat.
Into the meat itself, right? Thereafter, you close it up and you leave it. So we've got a couple more to go, right? Sorry. Right. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen at home, with regards to prawns, you want to season them a little bit. Thereafter, we're cooking them in a sauce for you today, a creamy peri-peri sauce. But you want that flavor in the prawn itself. That's why we season it up just a little bit, just to add that little bit of flavor into the prawn meat itself. Right, just a few more and we're good to go. So do you enjoy cooking?
I love cooking.
You love cooking? That's brilliant. Who does the cooking at home?
If my wife's watching, she does. But if she's not watching, I do it.
Excellent, beautiful. I guess you can surprise her with a lovely prawn dish. All right, brilliant. Just want to rinse my hands quickly. Just want to do a rinse up. All right, so as you can see, our butter has melted quite nicely. We've got the oil in there. Right, we just want a nice good melt process going down. I'm going to crank up the heat. The secret with prawns is never ever ever overcook your prawns.
Okay.
Everybody loves to fully cook items, which is absolutely incorrect, because while it's cooking in your pan, while it's you plate it, that prawn is still cooking. By the time it gets to you, it's going to be really overcooked.
Okay.
So the trick is balancing your cooking temperature in the prawn itself. Right, so in the saucepan, I'm just going to pump it up. We add a bit of onion. Right, I'm going to put 1 clove of garlic. We're just going to crush this up quickly. Right. We're going to throw a bit of Indian spice into your bay leaves, right? Because you don't want everything too standard, right?
Okay.
So we want to add a bit of flavor to it. So I'm just going to let that cook on high heat. I'm just going to chop up some coriander for you quickly. Right, a quick chop of coriander. Now, as you can see, I've chucked in everything. There's a reason for that. At home, you want to do that. You want to extract flavor from every single component that you are adding into the dish itself, right? So by frying it off lightly, you are actually extracting all the flavor completely, right, from the product. At the end of the day, it's going to give you a brilliant result.
Should that be done on low heat or medium heat?
You can keep it on high or medium, not an issue. Obviously high at home if you're busy, you're busy doing other things as well. You're not standing by the stove. Preferably keep it on a low heat so you can keep an eye on it every now and then. Alright, so we just give that, can you smell that?
Smell that garlic coming
Can you
through
get
there.
that flavor? The flavor coming through very nice. You can smell the coriander, you can smell the onions. Right, but what I've done with these prawns though is I've already cut them, cleaned them and deveined them.
Okay.
Right, you get various different types of prawns. I prefer using your Argentinian prawns.
Okay.
Right, it has a little bit more of a sweeter texture to the meat itself. Right, you can use black tigers, you can use, but never ever use blanched prawns. Right, because those have already been cooked. Blanching is basically a process where they soak the prawns in hot water for about maybe 4 minutes or so. They pull them out and they blast freeze them.
Okay.
Right, when you blast freeze it, basically holds its texture, it holds everything, right? So we've got that going on, it's coming out beautiful. Right, so the process too, basically for the viewers at home who are unaware of how to clean prawns, right? We've got our prawn here. All I've done was I've taken a knife and I've cut it straight down the middle.
At the back of it?
At the back of it, yes. I've opened it up, I've removed the vein on the inside, and I've cleaned out the head. Did you know, where is the prawn stomach? It's all in the head. right? Everything gets stored there, so you want that cleaned out nicely. Otherwise, it does become quite poisonous, and you'll end up sick, really sick. Even if you eat the
taste every now and then.
yes,
okay.
so you don't want any of that stomach intestines in your food itself, right? So, boom, these are coming along very nicely. Studio smelling beautiful today. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of chives.
Okay. What does chives do?
It's just adding flavor. You want that, you see in the prawn dish, I don't want everything to become overpowering. So you drop your quantities in just to get that little flavor running through, but not overpowering. Right, from there, I'm just gonna pop a bit of lemon juice.
Gonna mix it up?
Yeah. Right, a hint of lemon juice. Right, lemon juice cuts down the acidity as well.
Okay.
Right, and obviously prawns without lemon, that's a problem. Right, that's cooking brilliant. Now I'm just going to toss my prawns in. Right.
Notice you're tossing it in, but not with the open side.
Yes, always what I do is if I'm making a dish like this, when you are grilling prawns, you actually open them flat out and you grill them on a pan or on a stove, wherever you'd like to. But with a dish like this, I want that, I'm looking at the end result, so I want that curliness of the prawn. Okay. Right, and that is why I'm just throwing them in with the skin down. Right, most of the time you're gonna, but remember something, prawns cook really fast, right? Okay. And some of your lovely peri-peri that you've made, now we're going to chuck that in as well. Nice amount. And then we're going to put some cream inside, right?
Is this now fresh cream?
This is now fresh cream. Okay. Right, now I'm making a creamy peri-peri prawns for you. Right, so it's not too hot, it's not too mild. The cream actually balances the entire dish.
Okay.
Right, and I'm going to allow
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, the amount of cream you put in depends on how much cream you want as the sauce, right?
How much of sauce you need, yes.
Correct,
right. Because what I'm doing now is I'm reducing my cream, right, with all the other flavors in it, and that the prawn is basically absorbing every bit of flavor. Okay. So I want it to be creamy peri-peri prawns, and I'm just going to hit a quick reduce here. So I just want to get my tongue. Quick tongue. Now we're bringing this up to the boil. Right, we're going to add a bit more cream, right? Because I wanted to actually reduce it by half, so that you're not sitting with too much of a creamy flavor, but yes, the sauce still thickens up, right? Okay. All the cream. Think a hint more of your peri-peri. Right. What I've done here just before this here was I've just boiled some rice quickly, some basmati rice. It depends, you can have it with savory rice, you can have it with fries, you can have it with absolutely anything, but I prefer prawns definitely go with rice, right? Absolutely. You want the sauce all over your rice. So I'm just going to flip these over. Be careful, they cook extremely quickly. Okay. So it's going to take you approximately 4 minutes, 5 minutes per side, or actually even less, to cook them through, right?
Just for the benefit of those that don't really like too much of hot sauce in it, you reduce the number of chilies you put in there.
Yes, 100%.
So you get the same flavor, but obviously less pungent than
100%. But your cream dilutes your flavor anyway. Absolutely. So it's gonna give you a bit of a kick, but not that much. So if you wanna, even if you still make the peri-peri as is, with your cream content in it, it's gonna kill the pungency of the dish itself. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, got it.
Right, so they're looking lovely.
They are looking good.
Looking good. Can you smell that?
Looking good.
Absolutely amazing.
Can I clear this for you? Just put it on
have a sniff of this. Lovely, eh? Right. Good. This will be ready in about.
It actually reminds me, our board CEO Faisal Sayed loves prawns.
Does he? Oh. We need to bring him on the show.
It's actually his favorite dish.
Are you serious?
I'm going to ask him to come on a show with you to do prawns.
And we're going to make him an amazing prawn dish, eh?
But he doesn't like it too cooked. He prefers it slightly raw.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? By having it fully cooked, you're killing it.
Yes, absolutely.
You want that little bit of softness to it, and you know, it's beautiful, eh? It really, really is. Right, so I'm just going to add a bit of salt to this.
The thickness of the cream, it depending on how long you leave it there, is that right?
Yeah, so you're basically reducing the cream.
Okay.
Right, to the consistency required. Alright, so I got that going. As you can see, they're looking beautiful.
Very good, yeah.
They're starting to curl as well, which is what we wanted.
Okay.
Right.
Tell me why sometimes when you having prawns that you some of the times they come off the shell quite easily, and some of the times they actually stick to the shell. Why would something like that happen?
Okay, that is with regards to overcooking your food.
Okay.
Right, so once you overcook it, the meat starts to bind to the shell.
Okay.
Right, once it binds to the shell, that's when it's extremely difficult to pull out. Right, but if it's perfectly cooked, it should just fall off.
Okay, so it's not
without an
necessarily the prawns are stale.
No.
Okay,
Only when a prawn is powdery in your mouth,
Yes.
you know they have freezer burn.
Okay.
Right, so I don't know if the viewers at home have had powdery prawns before. That is because it has been frozen, then thawed out, then frozen again. It's a very delicate dish to handle, and if you clean them, you cook them straight away.
Okay.
You do not leave them, leave them to freeze again, because then you actually cause it. Right, you cause them to get freezer burn. Alright, and I've just got your basic rice, and our prawns are almost ready, so we're just going to do a little bit of a plate up for you. Right, the reason I didn't make our rice savory is for the mere fact that I want my sauce to penetrate the rice. I don't want it's just your base, and then your sauce covers it all up. Right, these are ready.
Smelling good, eh?
Smelling beautiful. Right.
Tell me, the size of the prawns will determine this texture, or is it the cooking method that will?
It's the cooking method.
Okay.
100% it is the
so the
cooking
larger
method.
the prawns doesn't mean that the texture will be very hard.
Or it will be a little bit tougher because obviously it's grown a little bit more.
Right.
But however, if you cook it right, I promise you it will be amazing. Right? It will definitely be amazing. So, right. I want you to have a taste first before it actually goes on. Careful, it's a bit hot.
Amazing.
How's that? Beautiful, eh? Lovely. Right, I
can feel that chili coming through.
But it doesn't hit you straight away?
No, it hits you from the back.
Yes, 100%. Right, there we go. I'm just going to clean that up. And last, we just pop on our sauce. Right, so here you'll enjoy it. The flavors will run into your rice.
Right.
Right, so you're not getting too much of overpowering flavor. Right, very quick, easy, simple recipe. You can make this on the go. Right, doesn't take long whatsoever. Right, a hint of garnish there. So I just want to clean up my plate. And there you go. You may have a bite of this, but on one condition.
I'm listening.
Prawns never get eaten with a fork and a knife. You're gonna have to go in with your hands on this one.
The fingers is where the flavors come from.
100%. So you're gonna have to dig in with your hands. Go for it.
Can I go for it?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. I'm a little lazy today, so I'm going to miss the hint. I see what you mean. It just sort of moves off the shell
Why don't you
completely.
show our viewers just how it pops out? It pops out like magic.
Very easy.
Look at that. That's a perfectly cooked prawn.
Amazing. Really amazing.
Guys, as you can see, it wasn't time to go yet. I've got Mr. Hashim Jogi cooking his own prawns this time. So I'm going to show you quickly how to make some sambles, right? Obviously, prawns, you want to go with some beautiful sambles, right? So I'm just going to chop this up quickly, right? A quick chop. Do you know, Mr. Hassan, that a blunt knife is actually more dangerous than a sharp knife? Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Tell me why.
Because a blunt knife is always room for slipping and sliding of your blade itself, right? But a sharp knife just goes through everything. And the most important tool in a chef's career is his knives. Now we value our knives to the core, right? So I'm just going to show you quickly a rough chop samples while Mr. Jogi has the second batch going down, right? So it's just some tomatoes. I'm going to put in some onion. Right, if you have a problem cutting onions at home with crying, the most convenient and easy way is just slit them down, not all the way to the end, and slit them across this way, right? And then we do a simple chop. Right, half an onion, half a tomato, pop them in there.
Does that look okay now?
Oh, that's brilliant. You're gonna plate up the next dish. There's your plate. You can go ahead plating up this. Right, you can pop some rice from there and we're good to go, right? What is sambles without chili, right? Just a hint of chili going through. Right, I want to put a bit of red and I want to put a bit of green. Right, into my sambles.
While you're doing that, and I'm observing you, you're cutting this thing at quite a speed, yet not cutting your finger.
100%.
Tell me how you do that.
We've learned techniques in school, right?
Okay.
I've been to culinary school. We do learn techniques, and I will give you a brief view of the techniques now. It's absolutely simple. It's all got to do with your hand itself. So if you curl your little fingers here in, you don't cut your tips there, and the blade actually runs
It's on that first part of your knuckle.
first part of your knuckle,
Okay.
which actually doesn't really cut your fingertips off,
Okay.
which is what you learn. So it's just down like this, you grip it down, and the end of your blade slides on your hand like that, and that is how we manage to cut so quickly. Right. Oh, and not forgetting
Can I get that tongue from you?
Sure. Not forgetting our almonds drizzle across the dish. Brilliant. Oh, that looks beautiful. Can we just add a hint more cream in there for you?
Okay.
Right.
Should I leave it back on the fire?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a quick one and back on the fire, and it's now, ladies and gentlemen, at home, if this happens to your dish whereby you've overboiled it, all you do is add a bit more cream, put it on a low heat, everything will bind back together. Back on the stove, you can pop it on high, and we just do a quick one. Right, so you're basically rebuilding. What has happened there was your cream has split and your butter obviously has come up, so that's why it looks very oily.
Good.
But it's actually your cream and your butter which is in there.
Okay.
Right, you can remove the prawns however and let the sauce reduce.
Got it.
Right, I'm just going to put some cream in there. Oh, those look beautiful, eh?
I do.
Stunning. And then just allow this to thicken up nicely. And we're good to go. Caution, it's a bit hot. Right,
Wow.
a bit of almonds. Right, a hint of coriander, just to make our dish look fantastic. Can I just borrow your cloth for a second, please? Brilliant, there you go. What you can do is, with our sandals, we just pop it on the side.
In the corner, yeah.
In the corner, you've got your chili, you've got your onion, you've got a bit of olive oil going on there, and we're good to go. Brilliant.
There we go.
And there you go. There's your prawns, creamy peri-peri prawns with the twist. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of What's Cooking. I'd love to hear how your recipe went, or if you'd like us to try something that you've always been wanting to try at home. So SMS the word Deen followed by your comment to 34877 and like our Facebook page. Thank you.